London analysis. On the calendar ahead today, we've got a fairly quiet day in terms of news flows. So inflation expectations have come through higher than expected on the New Zealand dollar. So that's something to keep an eye out on. And we have had some GDP readings come out fairly weak or weaker than expected for the pound, with previous figures downwards revised. But we have a look at what's been going on, in terms of market sentiment. And I'm using the New Squawk blog to have a look through this. So the dollar was pretty mental yesterday. We saw a little bit of whipsaw action. I think perhaps the markets in general had been putting a bit too much into looking at this CPI reading. So we had that giant move up with a bit of a retracement. Now, the dollar is basically kind of gained and reapproached key levels at the moment. So it's definitely the bullish currency of the day. The euro is weakened, partially or largely on the fact of the dollar strength, but also following the ECB rhetoric. Lagarde has been fairly dovish in his commentary lately. So the euro is definitely fundamentally a bit weaker at the moment. So going to be interested in shorting the euro dollar. Now, the pound is trading lower as well, following pullbacks. That should be added to by the prelim GDP readings as well. So pound could be weaker. Yen fairly uneventful. Antipodean subdued amid the cautious risk tone. So the RBA Governor Lowe is putting out the message that people need to be fairly patient with the rate hikes. So he's trying to kind of talk the markets down a little bit. So he's almost jawboning the currency, almost. So so we're looking to buy the dollar against the euro, potentially the pound, maybe the Aussie. So let's have a little look and see what the charts look like. So I'm just going to load up these charts. Now what you'll notice, I only keep charts open if I'm interested in trading them that day. So it'll always be a fresh chart that I'm looking at. And I tend to look at the 15-minute chart. And one more thing to check as well is to see what the commodities are doing. So essentially gold is lackluster, so nothing. Lackluster means not a lot going on, mainly because the eyes are all on the dollar. So that's we're not going to be looking at gold today. So let's go back to the charts. So we've got 3 charts to look at: euro dollar, Aussie US, and I want to have a look at the pound US as well. Okay, so euro dollar first. Now, of course, you can see, as expected, we've got a fairly decent looking downtrend on that currency. So a couple of things I'm going to be looking at is, firstly, any key Fibonacci retracement levels. So in particular, we've got the 23% that looks quite nice. So in terms of levels to potentially trade the euro dollar to the downside, you've got one spot 13988. And then another interesting level to trade downwards as well would be the break of the session crossover at one spot 13694. So I'm going to be quite interested in those levels as sell levels. On the Aussie dollar, very, very similar in terms of the chart. The look at the charts. In terms of levels to potentially look at trading to the downside, I would say the 38% retracement is probably the level to go for. And again, if trends continue to the downside, potentially looking at the crossover break, shorting. Let's have a look. So we've got 0.71083. And finally, looking at the pound dollar, which you can see the pound is jumping back up now, which is quite interesting. So it'll be interesting to see whether there's any catalyst for that. So in terms of Fibonacci retracements, there's nothing massively attractive that I can see. Excuse me. But if a trend does reverse and continue to jump to the downside, again, sort of sell levels, 1.35135 on the pound dollar to the downside could be worth the look. So that's it for the London analysis, guys. Good luck with the trades. If I do take anything, I'll let you know. And of course, if you've got any questions or any comments, do feel free to put them into the trading group. Okay, so those of you who haven't seen it yet, we have made the group or the trading group a chat now. So those of you who are still in BNFX markets, do check out the channel discussion group and do join that. You'll see further commentary, extra commentary on the markets in here, as well as analysis as well. So do join up. We'll look forward to seeing you guys. Take care.